Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. My name's Joy Testers. I actually had a major change in my life recently. I started to cross my legs when I sit down. And I can physically tell, and maybe in the front, you can notice, I think my pelvic alignment is better than it's ever been. And I'm also erect. Anyway, how does one know when they are fully healed from therapy? For me personally, it was when the therapist stopped taking my insurance. I did start seeing a therapist recently again, kind of the behest of my wife. I got better insurance and was immediately unhealed. But it's good for me to go. It's been a stressful year, and it's not good. It impacts the relationship. And my wife, for good reason, she feels underappreciated. Maybe I'm not as romantic as I used to be. And I agree with her 100% because she tells me this. I do have some stigma about going to therapy because, I just think people may look at me and think I'm a psycho, and I honestly don't think I'm a psycho. Well, I go to this therapist office that my wife set up for me, and the office door says psychotherapist. Psychotherapist. So it's either a therapist for a psycho, or it's a therapist who is psycho. Either way, one of us is a psycho. That's me. Growing up, the closest thing to therapy that I had was probably the Catholic Church confessional booth. But I quit doing that when my crimes got above misdemeanors. At that point, it was I can't trust you that much, Father Murphy. Even though I said last night, I really can. My wife is great, though. She lets me out at night. We met in Lima, Peru, where I was in the Marine Corps, and working on the U.S. Embassy, and she was in the Peace Corps, so she was saving babies. I killed them. As a Marine, we have some common nicknames I don't know what, Devil Dog, Jarhead, Crane Eater, Baby Killer. But personally, Kester the Molester was probably my worst. Chewbacca wasn't very good either, but I do have the body hair like a Wookiee, but I'm not Jewish. But my best guess as to why I was called Kester the Molester was not only because it rhymed, but also the molesting. Speaking of kids, I was watching a college football game, and this quarterback at the end of winning the game was interviewed live on TV, and the first words out of his mouth were, "I want to give thanks to the glory of God." And then he started thanking the coaches and players and whatever. And my wife and I, we have a couple of kids that she decided to save. And hearing that just kind of irks me, because it's a lot of work to be a parent. And, so for me personally, and this is for me, if my son or daughter ever win or on live TV and given a big interview, and they don't think their mother first, I'm gonna beat the God out of them. No, I won't do that. But maybe therapy is working, Anyway, I used to be a news junkie, and now I am so afraid of watching the news, I don't even open my Onion subscription. I'm even afraid the satirical newspaper is just, it just might be a little too close to reality, Because life can be challenging, and as Father Murphy would always say, don't make it harder than it has to be. So my plan is in 20 years, I'll climb through some dusty attic, and I'll probably be known as Cyborg Joe at that point, probably. And I'll find this old pile of The Onion articles, and I'll start reading the newspapers articles. I'll probably having some humming some reminiscent music, glory to
Thank you.
Glory Days by Springsteen, I suppose. I do think it's possible that some Onion headlines will come true in like 20 years. But also I wonder if I'll be that surprised that Donald Trump is still president. That's my time. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. This next comic, you might know her as Laura Sitterly, but it's stand-up, so tonight she's going to go as Lauren Standerly. Lauren!